All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I just got back from my trip and I came back and my buddy Alex down the road actually just hooked me up with his old gaming rig. So as you see right here, it does have a Core i9 9900K in it. And it's actually got a 2070 Super Asus Strix card. He said the regular air cooler on it, he ended up messing it up or something. So he swapped it out and put an NZXT AIO mounted water cooler with like a huge AIO. So anyway, I'm gonna pull that out of there for right now because I have some plans coming for this system. I don't even know exactly what they are, but this is a really good looking case. Like, look at this, it's huge. So I don't even know what brand case this is, but I really like it. See, it's even got like a little see-through area right there, and all this is vented in the top. But anyway, that has nothing to do with mining. Let's get this 2070 Super out of here and get her hooked up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel, and today we are gutting this computer. So I bought this entire computer for the graphics card. Local, actually, buddy Alex, I bought another card from him in the past, but anyway, he had this computer and he had a 2070 Super in it, and he was like, hey, he made a deal that I couldn't refuse. So I bought the entire thing, and it did not have a CPU cooler on it. Something was going on with that. But I do have an old stock Intel cooler. We're gonna throw that on there. That's not enough, realistically, because this is an i9 9900K, but it should be enough to keep it cool while we're mining on it. Now this does have 1, 2, 3 full-size slots, but I think I'm gonna end up using one of the splitter cards on here, one of those 6x splitters. From the carbon mining, and I'm actually curious to see if I can run multiple on this. I know these are not an extreme chipset, so the PCIe lanes are limited, but at least we can try. But first things first, I need to pull this thing out of here because we need to plug it in and see if it works, because I haven't actually seen it run. So yeah. Alright guys, this actually has a Z390 Aorus Master along with a 9900K in it. So a killer motherboard with a really decent CPU. I mean, a 9900K was top of the line, you know, what, maybe 2-3 years ago? I don't know. But yeah, so this is actually a big old chunky boy. Way overkill for a mining rig, but I mean, it'll do. It'll definitely do. So I'm gonna grab some thermal paste and plop that little Intel cooler on there. I probably won't be able to do any CPU mining on this cooler just because those things run way hotter than what this can cool down. But yeah, let's get something up and running. All right guys, so I got it plugged in and running. We are connected by Ethernet. I have an SSD running Hive on it, and I have not installed any graphics cards yet. I actually like to, especially if it's like a used board, boot it up to Hive and make sure it comes on and goes live on Hive before I add any cards. All right, so there it is right there, number rig 10. It's got nothing on it, but it does show that it is online and connected. It's got 14.8 gigs of RAM. It is a i9 9900K, probably way overkill. I might try to do some CPU mining on this. AMD CPUs seem to do typically a lot better, but it is what it is. Now let's pop a card in here and see how she do. Alright guys, so I was doing some digging and I found the PCIe lane diagram, and it looks like I can run the first 2 slots together at the same time in ×8 mode. So I should be able to, in theory, plug a ×6 splitter and a ×6 splitter in both of those and have 12 GPUs running on this motherboard, in theory. I don't know if that's true, so I'm going to try it out. The splitter cards should be here any day now. I think they were getting shipped out on the 15th, so I'm looking forward to those. And I'm looking forward to turning this into a 12 card rig. But I did have it up and running pretty smoothly over here. Let's check on rig 10. There it is, 44.25 mega hash. And for some reason this card does not report power. I don't know what's going on with it. It doesn't report fan either, but it does have like an aftermarket AIO cooler. I guess it's not the end of the world. I locked my core at 1050, I have memory at 2100, and power limit at 110. So at the very least, I know I'm burning less than 110 watts. A lot of times these 2070 Supers will be down into the 90 watt range whenever you use absolute core clock. But yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I'm not mining on this CPU because that air cooler can't keep up. It's 63 degrees Celsius, and that's just running the Linux OS. Whenever I try to mine on it, it shoots up into the 90 plus Celsius range, so it definitely needs a bigger cooler if I want to mine on this CPU, which if I got, you know, that much horsepower just sitting there, I might as well put it to work. So I think I'm going to grab me a budget-friendly, bigger air cooler. I think that'll work well in this area. But this 2070 Super is running pretty cool, 48 degrees Celsius. Can't argue with that. And let's go check out some math and see what these things are making. So we're on what to mine. I put in 44.25 mega hash at a respectable 100 watts. I think it's actually slightly less than that, but I'll round up to 100. Our cost per kilowatt is 10 cents. That's just what it auto filled in. And then if you go down here on Ethereum, it is making $2.99 a day before power, burning 24 cents of power, and then after power it's $2.75 profit. So on this machine, or this card, I had about 600 bucks invested. So we'll take 600, we'll divide that by our 2.75, and I'm looking at a 218 day ROI. Now I guess I could end up chipping that price down, being like, oh, well, I got a motherboard and a CPU along with it, but let's just call it what it is. I paid 600 bucks to get my hands on a 2070 Super. So would I do it again? Maybe, depending on what card it is. Will I go after these like aftermarket water-cooled cards? Probably not, just because I don't know, I don't like the setup. There's too many wires. It's just not, I don't like them. So I'd probably avoid that on the next one and just go for a normal air cooler card. But I mean, you can't argue with, you know, a $3 a day card. That's I mean, if we take that, let's see here, in a month before power, you're looking at almost 90 bucks. So after power, $2.75 times 30 in a month, you're looking at $82 profit. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I'm sorry I couldn't do any of my normal recording on my computer. I'm in the process of switching my main desktop, so I don't have some of the stuff installed on this one that I needed to. So we're strictly using the old-fashioned point the camera at the monitor method, but it does still work. Let's get a good shot of the motherboard and everything running, just so you guys can see it again. What are you doing on my car? Hey, when I get this thing painted, I'm gonna need you to not lay on it. Somebody's like, well, it needs to get out of the garage. Alright, later guys, have a good one. Cue that timely B-roll.